Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Game of Thrones. Last time on Game of Thrones, we had Breaker of Chains, in which, if I check my notes here, we had the, not resolution of Joffrey's death, but we had the aftermath, I guess. Sansa was saved by Baelish, Tommen had a chat about being the king, Stannis is in need of an army because this is the perfect time to go claim the throne, and Davos is going to ask for assistance from the Iron Bank of Braavos. Oberyn is going to be a judge at Tyrion's trial, and basically Tywin's going to try to improve relationships with Dorne, so that if Daenerys ever comes to Westeros, the Dornish can help. And at the end, Daenerys was at Meereen and sent over, catapulted over collars. So, yeah, that's basically that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Let's stick to this episode and previous episodes of Game of Thrones that I've reacted to. And with that being said, let's get right into this episode of Game of Thrones. Here we go. So that's a Grey Worm. Are they infiltrating the city as slaves? That's an interesting tactic. Okay, so they're debating. Is there someone up there? Oh god. Yeah, they're coming for you. Did she conquer Meereen just like that? Just right there? I think she did. All we saw was one guy get killed.
163, Khaleesi.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah. Are they gonna kill 163 Master? Barristan?
Sometimes it is better to answer injustice with mercy.
I will answer injustice with justice.
Ooh. Oh. Oh, it's not just killing them. Oh, Daenerys. Ooh. Oh, that's what was put on there. The sigil of House Targaryen. They're still training? Oh! Damn, that's a cold trick.
That was me knocking your ass to the dirt with your own hand.
Wow.
You're a rare talent. Fighting cripples, anyway.
You want to fight pretty or you want to win?
You talk about death this way.
All the time. He got used to it.
But only when Lady Arryn demanded the trial take place that day.
You were his first choice.
That's
He
true.
named you for his champion because he knew you would ride day and night to come fight for him.
That is true.
You're going to fight for him now.
Jaime would have done that. They're pretty good. They're like this.
4 walls? Did you do it?
No.
The Kingslayer brothers. You like it? I like it.
That'd be really funny.
Sneak you out of the city in the back of a cart? I'm the Lord Commander of the King's Guard.
Sorry, I'd forgotten. I'd hate for you to do something inappropriate.
Inappropriate? You're accused of killing the king. Freeing you is treason.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Which is why we're having a trial.
A very unfair trial.
The killer.
I'm getting married to your Aunt Lysa. She's waiting for us at the Eyrie. You'll be safe there.
Oh. Okay. Which is also where the Hound and Arya are going. Sweet! I like that.
I don't suppose you noticed that a stone was missing after the feast.
Okay.
The poison.
My new friends are predictable, very reasonable people. As for what happened to Joffrey, well, that was something my new friends wanted very badly.
Your new friends?
Nothing like a thoughtful gift to make a new friendship grow strong.
I can't believe you're going.
The
Leaving me alone
Tyrells?
here with these people.
Accusing her brother of his murder, which he didn't commit.
Right.
Well, he could have done.
I could have done, but he didn't.
You don't know, Grandmother.
But I do know. You don't think I'd let you marry that beast, do you?
Okay.
Someone has to train them.
And that someone isn't you. Go find a chamber pot to empty. Go on, do it. You traitor's bastard. Give me an excuse. Norman's not here to protect you now.
Fiend, fuck you, man.
There will be a choosing. The old maester will insist on it. You might reconsider his request to march on Crasters. Let the mutineers take care of Snow. Or you might be taking orders from him the rest of your life.
Ooh. I like that. I mean, I don't like trying to get rid of Jon, but I like that that guy sees how popular Jon is.
I had to see him. I had to know for myself.
Alright, play it cool.
He didn't do it, Cersei.
Play cool.
Always pitied him.
Stay frosty.
Oh, poor.
How did you get past the King's Guard?
King's Guard.
Oh. It's Tommen.
I don't think you're supposed to be here.
Oh my gosh. A kid that young is totally gonna fall for her.
Arranged marriage. Remember our little secret.
Oh, I hope that works. I don't know. He might tell. He might tell, but damn, I think he's in love.
I have one more gift.
Yeah.
I don't need a squire.
Of course you do.
He'll slow me down.
My brother owes me a debt. He's not safe here. You'll be keeping him from harm. Chivalry.
That's kind of cool.
Sir. Oathkeeper.
So that was Jaime's sword, not.
Goodbye, Bran.
Huh. Come on, say his name. Okay. We're really starting to lose a lot of characters in King's Landing. It's interesting.
All we can give him now is justice. Who will join me?
Anyone? Oh, that's one. Two. Oh, he's gonna get a lot of support, isn't he? Yeah, listen to that music. Everyone's gonna stand up. Or at least more people than Alistair thought.
Alright.
But the thing about that is, you know who wants that boy?
He offered them.
So,
To the gods.
the White Walkers.
Oh, he thought the White Walkers were gods. Well, that's at least good. He's not being stupid about it.
Master's headed that way.
Oh, let him go sacrifice it. I know, boy. Babies are annoying. It's nothing you gotta worry about. Go back to sleep. Darby doesn't like babies. It's alright. Shh, shh, shh. What are you doing? Sit down. Sit down. Thank you for that. Go back to sleep. Oh. You can hear the crows. Guess who's coming? Ooh, it's turning to ice. That's how cold it is. Yeah, run! There's Ghost. Oh, crap.
Hold on.
Bran, what happened?
It's Summer, he's hurt. They've caught him in a trap.
Aw.
I didn't see, but they have my brother's wolf. They have Ghost.
Well, that's not good. Wait, can you get into Ghost then?
They know too much.
If I'm not back soon, we'll meet at...
Ah, dang it. Well, I guess Jon has to come save them. Yep. That's a White Walker. Bye, White Walker. Oh, the baby. Where are we? Is this where the White Walkers are from? It's the rest of the White Walkers. Aren't... Isn't it? What is happening? This shot is so different from anything we've ever seen in this show. Whoa. It's a White Walker without hair. Oh. Oh, and it's gone. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okie dokie. That, alright. Now, okay. Now I get it. Now I get it. Why I get the offering now. Alright. So I'm just gonna go through my notes normally. We'll get back to the whole White Walker stuff in a minute. So, first thing I wrote down was Infiltrating Meereen. That's interesting. Now, I kind of thought that they would do it like, because Grey Worm and some of the other Unsullied were dressed as slaves, and I understand that the point of that was just so that they could get into the city unnoticed, but I do have to say that, it is... Well, I don't know. I kind of thought where they were going was they were going to infiltrate but not say that they were Unsullied and just be slaves and try to convince the others of the greatness of Daenerys. They did that anyway. They just didn't convince them that they were slaves from Meereen. They just told them, hey, we're the Unsullied, we were freed, and now we're good. One sec. Alright, so that was interesting. I do like that they went in there, because it seemed like Meereen was a bit harder. I don't know, it's like each city kind of takes a different strategy, I guess. Well, it kind of. They've used different strategies for each city. Like for Astapor, they went in like normal because they had to purchase the Unsullied first. It's like they knew they needed the strength of the Unsullied, so they bought the Unsullied, and then Daenerys immediately freed them. And because of that, they then followed her. So it's not that she bought them, therefore they work for her. It's that they owe her. So that's how that worked in Astapor. In Yunkai, they did infiltrate the city after gaining the Second Sons. They infiltrated the city, and then all the slaves, revolted. Which I guess is sort of similar to Meereen, but instead, first they go and just say, hey, I've already done this twice, you want to just go ahead and join me. But then they had to infiltrate and really convince them to do this. So I did like that. I wrote down justice or mercy. Now that scene where she basically had 163 masters crucified in Meereen. That is very cruel. Now, granted, I understand. I totally understand where she's coming from. She hates slavery, and, that's why she's freeing every slave that she finds. And, so, clearly she wants the masters to be punished. In Astapor and Yunkai, they were killed. Even here, they were killed in Meereen, but crucifying them and putting them on display, well, I don't know. Maybe, is that a touch too far, or isn't it? Because, we kind of all assumed that she was going to go ahead and execute them, because that's just kind of how she rolls, So, we kind of already knew she was going to execute them, because in the other two cities, in Astapor and Yunkai, she had the slaves kill their masters, so I kind of just assumed it was the same thing. But she basically saved 163 masters in order to crucify them. Which is debatable. Is that incredibly cruel, or is that justice? And that's what Sir Barristan was thinking. Which, I have to say, if they hadn't had Barristan sort of question that, or at least say, he said, maybe you should show them a little mercy, then maybe I wouldn't question it like I am now. But it is a good question to bring up. Was that right of her to do, to basically crucify these masters? I don't know. It's a bit of a gray area, a gray worm area, if you will. Yeah, it's a bit of a gray area. I'm really not sure. You could take it as, well, it's good, it's justice, but you could also take it as, just lighten up, just kill them. Why do you gotta crucify them? So, yeah, but the way she kind of said it, there is no mercy, there is only justice. You could kind of see she kind of had a little anger on her face. And it almost seemed like a little bit of disbelief that Sir Barristan would even be saying this, but I don't know. So we'll see where that goes. Maybe she's going to get a lot more cruel. I find it interesting that this is the first town. This is the first city where she hangs her sigil. Because she hasn't done that on the other two, and I didn't even realize, I thought that when the master looked up and saw something on their goddess idol, I thought they tied a person up there. They tied one of the masters up there and he was dying. I didn't realize. So actually, let me look at that. Is this? No? Alright. There was a button on there. I thought it was full screen. So let me look back at this. Okay. Too far. Hold up. Yeah. Okay, so it's more around here. Nope, too far. Take it back just a tad. Nope, not far enough. I will get this. Okay. So they look up. Okay, so that's in the distance. Look at that. You can barely tell that is the sigil of House Targaryen, but yeah. So, okay. Blech, crap in my mouth. So, okay, it's a bit meh. I couldn't see it. I thought there was a dude hanging up there, but before the slaves even start killing people, she's already hung up her banner. That's pretty cool. And you can see, let's get this to full screen again. You can see up here, hopefully I remember to put the footage back in. You can see up here that this is the ledge she was or not the ledge, but the balcony she was standing on when she was looking over her new conquest. So yeah, so that's interesting. The next thing I wrote down was Sansa at the Eyrie, because that's where Lord Baelish is taking her. That's interesting that that she'll be safe there, but maybe, honestly, I don't know if she'll technically be safe there, but that is with her aunt. That is with her Aunt Lysa, so that could work. And interestingly enough, that's where the Hound is taking Arya, because he's going to sell Arya, basically. So we may get a reunion of Sansa and Arya. Those two haven't been together since season 1. So that'll be interesting if that happens. Okay, I wrote down, I had a couple things. First, Baelish the Kingslayer. So it was pretty safe to assume that he was involved in this whole thing, because he had to have known that that was the perfect time to get Sansa out of King's Landing. So we knew he was in on it. We didn't quite know if he was the one who, basically organized the whole thing, but it doesn't seem... Well, okay, that's a bad choice of words. It does seem like he organized it, but the idea was not his. Like, he's not the ringleader of all this. And he said, like, I have friends that wanted Joffrey off the throne. And it seems like that person, his friend, is Olenna Tyrell, which does make sense. She kind of tolerated Renly. We had that scene before where she was like, well, Renly was a fool, basically. And oh god, I gotta add something else, but I'm gonna run out of space. Margaery. Okay. So we had her not liking Renly, but it's interesting that she obviously cares about her grandchildren, and okay, there we go. I had to finish writing that before I could keep thinking. So obviously she loves her grandchildren, wants to protect them. So I like that she will actually go to such lengths in order to kill Joffrey so that her granddaughter doesn't have to be with him for the rest of her life, basically, because that is how that would happen. That's how that would end up. So that's interesting. I do really like that she kind of orchestrated all this in order so that Margaery could be the queen, just not Joffrey's queen. I do kind of like that. So that's pretty good. And to that, I like that. What I just wrote down was Margaery / Tommen. So that is very clever. That that the advice that Olenna gave Margaery, that you can't wait for this to happen. Basically, like, you can't wait for the wedding to be arranged, because Cersei doesn't want that to happen, obviously. So what you should do is go in and win over the king himself. So I do like that. And then I did like that scene between Margaery and Tommen, because first off, it, like, okay, we saw Tommen, at the wedding, and I kind of thought to myself, like, man, he seems to have gotten older, but I don't know, but apparently not too much older, because when she went to talk to him, man, he looked a lot younger. It's like, you can still tell he's a boy and she is a woman. Like, you can definitely tell that. Like, I'm sure there was a bit of an age difference between Margaery and Joffrey, but maybe not that much, honestly. Whereas it's like, okay, this is clearly a woman and a young boy. Maybe like a young teenager. Maybe he's like 13 or 14 at the most. So, yeah, that's interesting. And I gotta say, she probably has the easiest time of being able to win him over. Although I don't know, maybe, I'm sure something will go wrong somewhere. It's Game of Thrones, something always goes wrong. I'm wondering, though, if... Well, okay, I'm not wondering. Hold on, let me retry. I said that to, like, try to remember what I was saying, and then it's like, hold on, that's not... I wasn't wondering anything. Circle back. Okay. It is really interesting that that she has to basically win over Tommen, because that has to be so much easier than winning over literally anyone else. Because this is not a grown man who can, who's incredibly smart or can't be easily swayed or something like that. He's also not cruel like his brother was. So, yeah, it's like if you woke up in the middle of the night and some pretty girl was standing over you like that, and it's like, yeah, it's no doubt that he has fallen in love. So, that being said, again, I'm sure this is not going to end well for someone. I don't know who. I don't know what's going to happen. But they did really stress the whole, let's just keep this as our little secret. It's like, oh, they kept saying that, so I keep thinking, like, oh, something's going to happen. He's going to snitch. He's going to be a snitch and, rat her out to Cersei or something. I don't know. I don't know. So, I'm a little nervous about that, but I did like that scene. Okay, we're barely halfway through the notes, so let's keep going. I wrote down the choosing. That was interesting how they brought up... The guy brought up to Alistair Thorne that Jon is very popular. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. So, that guy does recognize how popular Jon is among the men of the Night's Watch. And the thing about that is, Alistair Thorne can't be the acting Lord Commander forever. And, he even said, like, there's going to be a choosing for the next Lord Commander. Maester Aemon is going to insist it, and if he insists it, there's no getting around it. So, if Jon is that popular, they may actually elect him to be the Lord Commander, and then Alistair will have to, work for him for the rest of his life, basically. So, that is interesting. So, it makes sense why he would approve of the raid on Craster's house, so that, with the hope that they will kill Jon. But, that's the other thing, will they be able to kill Jon? I'm gonna doubt it, but I don't know. I'm gonna doubt that they actually can kill Jon. I'm sure they won't, so yeah. I wrote down Pod and Brienne. That's pretty cool that, because Podrick had to get out of King's Landing, but he didn't really have a place to go. So I like that he's going to be the squire to Brienne, who's going to go find Sansa and protect her, basically. So that's pretty good. I wrote down the raid on Craster's, which we kind of talked about. So that's interesting. I like that there were people that support Jon enough to go and take on the men at Craster's. So that's good. We'll get back to the offering to the gods in a minute. I wrote down Summer/Ghost. So I didn't even realize that they would actually have Ghost, which makes sense. That it makes sense that they would have Ghost because Jon got separated from the Night's Watch, and he pretty much went undercover with the Wildlings. So Ghost was with Commander Mormont. So I just kind of forgot about that. So it does make sense that once they killed Craster and Mormont, that they would go lock up Ghost, because otherwise, A, Ghost will kill you, or B, Ghost will run and go find Jon. So, yeah. So that's interesting. And then, I guess now they have Summer, too. Which sucks. I wrote down Bran. So, that's interesting that they're actually running into Craster's, which means that eventually they should run into Jon, because now they're captives of friggin' Owen from Torchwood, whose name I might get. I don't know. We'll see if I actually get his real name. Honestly, I'm happy just calling him Owen from Torchwood, so yeah. Yeah, so Bran is now a captive, which means that because Jon is going to Craster's in order to defeat the men there, it means that he's going to go and save Bran, which will be nice. It means Jon gets to meet up with a character outside of the Night's Watch plot. That would be so nice. Like, he hasn't seen any of his family since the beginning, since episode 2, when he split from Ned Stark. So, yeah. And then the last thing, the offering to the gods and the White Walkers. First off, it's interesting that, because Craster has said, like, I'm a godly man, and even Mormont was like, you're not a godly man. Don't even fool yourself. Yeah, so he has said that before. It's like, I'm a godly man. But we didn't really know, I guess we never really knew who his gods were. Were they the Seven? Were they the old gods? We really didn't know. So that's interesting that he believed the gods were the White Walkers. That is very interesting, and that's what he was doing, was he was offering these boys to his gods, basically. That's what he was doing. And not only that, he was basically repopulating the White Walkers, and he probably didn't even know that. Because now we saw that the White Walkers are taking Craster's sons and turning them into White Walkers, which, whoa, that was crazy. So, yeah, that was crazy. I love that shot at the end of, like, you know, you see the baby in the foreground, and in the background you just see just these figures, and it's like, those have to be the White Walkers. And it's like, ooh, that's scary, man. So, now I wonder, maybe they're in, like, their own dimension or something? I don't know. Because they seem to be in a different place. Like, when it cut to, and you saw them, like, when you saw them, it didn't seem to be the same room that the White Walker brought the baby to. And it's also interesting, like, well, why didn't that White Walker just turn the baby into a White Walker? It's like, okay, well, maybe it's that specific White Walker that can do that? Is he the leader of the White Walkers? What's his name? I don't know. I really don't know. So, yeah, I'm almost wondering, like, does that White Walker or a certain number of White Walkers go out to find these offerings and then takes it back to whatever, this White Walker temple or something, puts it on the pedestal, and then that takes the child into the White Walker dimension or something, to where the leader picks it up and turns it into a White Walker. That will be interesting if that's actually the case, which honestly I'm thinking might be the case, because again, when you saw them, it looked like such a different room. And where did they all come from? You know, we got a wide establishing shot and there was no one there, and then it cuts, and then there they all are in a perfect line. Where did they come from? Just who are these people? It's a little Jerry Seinfeld for you. Ugh. Sorry, boy. Dropped my pen. I just ended this on Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, that's funny. Alright. Yeah, but what's going on with the White Walkers? I gotta know. Ugh. We didn't get any Stannis this episode, did we? No, we didn't. No Stannis. We did get Dany. We obviously got Jon. Who else was I thinking of? We didn't get any Oberyn. We didn't get any wildlings. Hand's a little shaky. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. We didn't get any of Lord Bolton or Theon. I don't know. I guess there's a number of characters we didn't get in this episode, but yeah. I don't know why that just kind of crossed my mind. That it's like, oh yeah, we didn't really see them at all, but whatever. So yeah, what's going on with the White Walkers? What's going on with every single thing I just discussed? Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. That's pretty much that. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Game of Thrones reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.